London, 1888. The fog-laden alleys of Whitechapel conceal a sinister presence. The city is gripped by fear as a series of gruesome murders unfolds. The investigators and their pursuit. The investigation into the Whitechapel murders was spearheaded by two primary police forces: the Metropolitan Police and the City of London Police. Key figures included Detective Chief Inspector Donald Swanson, appointed by Scotland Yard to oversee the investigation. Swanson coordinated efforts from the central office. Inspector Frederick Aberline, a seasoned detective from the Metropolitan Police's H Division. Aberline was deeply involved in on-the-ground investigations in Whitechapel. And Inspector Edmund Reed, head of H Division. Reed played a crucial role in examining crime scenes and interviewing witnesses. Despite their combined efforts, the lack of forensic technology and the killer's cunning eluded capture. Modus operandi and eyewitness accounts revealed that the killer targeted women, primarily prostitutes, in the impoverished Whitechapel district. Victims were found with their throats slashed and abdomens mutilated, some with organs removed, suggesting anatomical knowledge. The attacks were swift and silent, often occurring in the early hours, leaving little evidence behind. On September 30th, 1888, Joseph Lewenda, a cigarette salesman, witnessed a man speaking with Catherine Eddowes shortly before her murder. He described the man as of average build, with a fair complexion and a mustache, wearing a pepper and salt-colored jacket and a red neckerchief. Lewenda's testimony was considered credible, but he was unable to positively identify the suspect. Victim selection was a first breakthrough as the canonical 5 victims: Marianne Nichols, Annie Chapman, Elizabeth Stride, Catherine Eddowes, and Mary Jane Kelly were all prostitutes. Their vulnerable status and the secluded locations of their work made them easy targets. The killer's choice of victims may have been influenced by a desire to avoid detection and a possible personal vendetta against women. Suspects and theories over the years. Numerous suspects have been proposed, including Aaron Kosminski, a Polish immigrant and barber known to have mental health issues. He was institutionalized shortly after the murders ceased. Recent DNA analysis on a shawl found at a crime scene linked him to the murders, though the evidence is contested. Montague John Druitt, a barrister and teacher who committed suicide in December 1888. His death coincided with the end of the murders, leading some to suspect him. Michael Ostrog, a Russian-born con artist and former surgeon. His medical background and criminal history made him a suspect, but no concrete evidence linked him to the crimes. Final murder. The last known victim, Mary Jane Kelly, was found on November 9th, 1888, in her room at Miller's Court. Her body was mutilated beyond recognition, indicating a possible escalation in the killer's violence. No eyewitnesses came forward, and the trail went cold. Investigation efforts and challenges that the Metropolitan Police, led by Inspector Frederick Aberline, conducted extensive inquiries, interviewing over 2,000 individuals and detaining 80. Despite their efforts, the lack of forensic technology and the killer's cunning eluded capture. A significant problem during the investigation was the rivalry between the Metropolitan Police and the City of London Police. The City of London Police was an independent force, not under the control of Charles Warren, the head of the Metropolitan Police. Tensions between the two forces occasionally interfered with the investigation. Legacy and ongoing investigations show that the mystery of Jack the Ripper has inspired numerous books and studies. Notable works include The Five by Hallie Rubenhold. This revisionist work challenges the commonly held belief that the canonical 5 were merely sex workers. Placing Murder Investigation Team, Jack the Ripper by Stephen Keogh. This true crime book reveals how Scotland Yard today would identify Whitechapel's mysterious killer and bring him to justice. The murders ceased as abruptly as they began. Theories abound. Did the killer die, get institutionalized, or simply stop? To this day, Jack the Ripper's identity remains one of history's most chilling mysteries. However, as of this year, February, in a major breakthrough, In 2014, author Russell Edwards made a bold claim. He said he had found Jack the Ripper, and he had proof. The name he put forward was Aaron Kosminski, a Polish immigrant and barber who had lived in the heart of Whitechapel at the time of the infamous murders. The turning point in this mystery wasn't found in a police file, but in a relic, an old, moth-eaten shawl. It had been recovered from the scene of the Ripper's fifth known victim, Catherine Eddowes, on that dark morning of September 30th, 1888. Edwards wasn't a scientist, but he knew he needed one. So he turned to Dr. Jari Louhelinen, a molecular biologist at Liverpool John Moores University. Dr. Louhelinen painstakingly isolated 7 fragments of DNA from bloodstains on the shawl. In a stunning revelation, the blood matched the DNA of Karen Miller, Catherine Eddowes' direct descendant. It was her ancestors' blood on that cloth. But there was more. Semen stains on the same shawl were also analyzed, and matched with a living descendant of Aaron Kosminski. The implications were staggering. So, who was Aaron Kosminski? Born in 1865 in Klodowa, Poland, Kosminski fled the anti-Jewish violence of Imperial Russia with his family and settled in East London in the 1880s, just streets away from the scenes of the murders. He was once even brought in by the police. A witness identified him as having been with one of the victims, but in a tragic twist of fate, that witness refused to testify. And just like that, Kosminski walked free. He spiraled into mental illness, labeled destitute, when he entered a workhouse in 1889. Soon after, he was committed to an asylum. He died there in 1919, his secrets buried with him, until the shawl spoke. Today, the case of Jack the Ripper may never be officially closed, but thanks to science, determination, and a 130-year-old scrap of fabric, one of history's greatest mysteries might just have found its answer. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this chilling story and want more true crime and horror tales from around the world, check out the other videos on this channel. There's plenty more to keep you up at night. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It really helps keep the stories coming. Got thoughts on today's video? Or a case you'd like me to cover next? Drop a comment below. I read them all, and you might just see your idea turned into a video soon. Until next time, stay curious and stay safe.